She's supposed to get out in 1 month. The rehab was for 1 month. So when I spoke to social worker, she said she's not living. That's when everything went to hell. So I called every number you could name. I make phone call, lawyers, everything. Nobody wouldn't call me. So I find out the only way to get my mom home was guardianship. So I decided to go to another lawyer. The lawyer advised me that disability is the only one that could help me my mom home while we fight for the guardianship. God, that was heaven sent. So I made some phone call. I spoke to Jessica from Disability in New York, and she recommended me to Sarah, and Sarah did her work. My mother has the right. She said she want to go home. She would go home because we had no right except my mom. So that's when she did her work. That's when my mom is home.
Miss Abouzeidi's son, Vladimir, contacted me because his mother had been admitted to a nursing home from a hospital. She went to the hospital for a very minor injury at the urging of Vladimir's sibling, who came to visit and saw that her wrist seemed to be a little bit swollen and took her to the hospital. However, the underlying dynamic between those siblings is actually the crux of what happened here. And basically, the sibling who took Miss Abouzeidi to the hospital felt that she was not being well cared for in the care of Vladimir and another of his siblings named France. So what happened was that the siblings who were aligned behind Miss Abouzeidi being in the nursing home and were concerned about her well-being in her home were pitted against the siblings who wanted her to be home. And so the nursing home got in the middle of that, and Miss Abouzeidi was stuck. And the reality is, I was contacted by her son because Miss Abouzeidi was very clear that she wanted to go home.
Je les soirs, je ne peux pas dormir, je ne peux pas trouver place. On m'a fait chier dans une chaise, ce n'est pas possible.
She was dying there because she could not sleep.
On a donné la place à une autre personne.
So they give her seat to someone else.
Mais moi, on ne fait pas de moi.
They didn't want her there.
Non, pas prêter là-bas, plutôt mourir.
I'd rather die instead of staying there.
Je préfère de mourir au lieu d'aller là-bas.
I'd rather die instead of going back there.
C'est un enfer pour moi.
It was hell for me there.
Une fois j'ai ouvert l'élévateur, je vais sauver. On m'a vu. J'ai ouvert l'élévateur, je vais sortir dehors. Je ne peux pas résister.
One day I opened the elevator door and I was trying to escape.
J'ai ma famille qui s'occupe de moi.
I don't want the nursing home. My
Ma
family.
fille,
I want
mon
my family to
fils
take
m'a
care of me.
aidé.
My son and
Je
my
ne sais pas
daughter helped
pourquoi
me.
on m'a envoyé là-bas pour souffrir. Je vais souffrir.
It appears to me they sent me there to suffer.
So really key to her advocacy for Miss Abouzeidi was honing in on the reality, the legal reality, that a woman in her position is entitled to autonomy and to make her own decisions. And that's a fundamental aspect of the rights of people with disabilities. And Miss Abouzeidi was very clear about what she wanted. And so there was no difficulty for DRNY in terms of how to help her, which was to realize what she wanted.
I was worried. So until Sarah told me, don't stop worrying, she gave me some good advice. You know, sometimes I'm a knucklehead. So Vladimir, don't worry, we're going to take care of your mom. The key word to me, the whole situation, Sarah said to me, listen, we know it's up to her. It's up to mom.
That's it.
That was the key word. That was the key word. She said, me, my brother, my sister had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
If she wanted to go home, we'd go home. Me, that's when I felt big relief.
Now, the challenge, of course, was that there were many other people who thought they knew what was best for Miss Abouzeidi, and that is always the challenge for people with disabilities, is that many other people, often well-intentioned, think they know what's best for you. But what resulted in this instance was that there was a lot of confusion at the nursing home about who had what rights, and you would think a nursing home would understand what people's rights were, what family members' rights were when there's no guardianship or no healthcare proxy in place and they basically, at the nursing home, the real problem that arose is that the nursing home made an arbitrary determination that the eldest sibling was in charge of what would happen. And that was wrong. And that sibling didn't want his mother to go home. So once we came in and met with them and articulated the law quite clearly in terms of what Ms. Abouzeidi wanted, and she sat at a conference table and said, I want to go home, everything fell into place. We just helped her articulate herself in the right forum. And after that assessment happened, there was no barrier, and she was home. She went home for a day visit for Thanksgiving. 2 days later, she went home. And it was a great transition because she got a day at home to get used to the idea. And then 2 days later, she was home, and she literally was dancing. I got a photograph and a video of her dancing in her home the day she got home. So it's been a terrific outcome. And I think for her, anybody, regardless of what their mental capacity is generally the best judge of what feels good to them and what's good for them. And Ms. Abouzeidi, I think, will thrive in the waning years of her life because she is able to be in her home.
Now I'm in paradise.
Merci,
thank you to all. Thank you.
Tu t'es avec ma famille.
Leave me with my family.
Elle s'occupe moi beaucoup. Elle m'a aidé beaucoup. Ma son a laissé la maison. Il est venu dormir devant ma cabane.
My son
pour
came
ne pas sortir
to
de
my
la
house
rue.
to watch me so I don't go out.
Je me sens bien avec ma famille.
I feel well with my family.
Aidez-moi avec famille, moi.
Help me stay with my family.